but it seems to be very weak second time around, I guess.
Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it? That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Right, let's get going then now. It is just turned 7 o'clock. If anybody else comes, just let them in, Daniel, if you can. And are you in charge of muting us when we have to be muted? When
Yes, I can mute people. Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, we start off then with welcome. Thank you for coming on this lovely cold night, sitting in your own comfortable homes. It's not bad, is it really? It's a way to do it. Apologies, I've got from Peter Spencer. He's not well as well. He's got a virus, but he said it isn't COVID, but he's not well. So apologise from Peter with somebody else as well, Mark.
Yeah, Martin Harrington.
Martin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mary, I muted you there.
There is muted.
A message should have popped up on your screen, Mary.
You're still muted, Mary.
Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, yes, what you said there.
It's tradition not have to mute the host.
Right, has everybody read the AGM minutes from last year?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I will sign those then and date them and give them back to Mark. Right, okay then. Matters arising, anything from those minutes to talk about? No? Anything anybody wants to know? A member who wants to know anything? No, that's fine. We'll move on then. Basically, it's my report first as chairman, acting chair and secretary. Well, we've been this is our 20th year as a registered charity. And obviously, again, it's been another quite bad challenge, really, one way or another with pandemic. However, I feel fairly confident now that the reports are more positive and the fact that the majority of our population have been vaccinated and our boosters is paying off now. The determination not to lock the country down this time has proved to be the right thing, I believe. And we seem to be moving on, and hopefully one day we'll be talking about an endemic and not a pandemic. However, I hope we've also learnt some lessons and still wear masks when necessary. And I am absolutely fanatical about cleaning everything now with sanitizers. I even put sanitizing fluids out on my tables at home. If people visit me, they've got to use them. But I think it's just a simple fact, isn't it? When I worked on the ward, you cleaned everything down. One patient moved in, one patient went out. You cleaned everything. Everything was completely sterilised after they gone. So it's not a bad way to live as your normal life. Anyway, throughout the last 12 months, we've had Zoom meetings, which we've just been talking about, Zoom meetings, and we have tried open meetings. We've had Di Fox's fitness classes on Zoom every Monday, which I know Mark and Gordon and I join it every week. It's really, really helped me a lot. And I know it's helped some of the chats quite a bit as well. There's plenty of room for anybody else to join us. Just go on the website and you'll see us assigned. You can join us at 9:30 every Monday for an hour, and it's a very good session. We had our first open meeting at Pershore in October. Peter Tomlinson came. Peter's a very old friend of our group, and he shared his experiences with his journey with prostate cancer and how he coped over the last 12 months with the loss of his wife. And he was very open about how things had affected him, really, and the loneliness in lockdown when he was suddenly one person in a house instead of two people in a house. It must have been very difficult. Gordon arranged for the ukulele player, so we had some entertainment there as well, and that was excellent. And we had another open meeting at Kidderminster in October as well, Di came along just to talk to our members about keeping fit, but she also took us through a few exercises, actually, in it's sitting exercises. I haven't seen anybody rush to the class since, so it's a shame, because she does do a brilliant job, better than any other exercise person I've ever worked with. Really is the best as far as I'm concerned. We also had Claudia Waterhouse and Claire Arthur from Macmillan talking about the services they offer anybody with cancers, and the help they give is absolutely amazing. A lot of people don't realise just the types of different things they can offer to people who've been diagnosed with cancer. They're the go-to people if you've got financial problems and you're undergoing worries about that, as well as your treatment. They can arrange for counselling, all the things that are grouped by ourselves we can't do, but we can signpost you to go to them for this. And then we had a bit of entertainment as well, which was really good fun. We had Ukes on the Edge from Kimber, and they played all the songs from my teenage years, which was lovely. I really enjoyed that. They didn't want any payment, but they went around with a bucket for pancreatic cancer. And they'd asked permission, obviously, if they could do that. And we raised about, I think it's about £160 for them. And they hopefully coming again later this year. It was a lovely night's entertainment. We also, as soon as lockdown, not as soon as lockdown was finished, but we also started committee meetings together again rather than on Zoom in the autumn, in the August, September, I think it was, we started at Leapgate. Leapgate, you know all about, but Paul will be talking about that later. And we had our last meeting there in November, because I've just said I knew that we'd get a spike in January, and I thought it was safer in cold months to stay away from such situations and have the meetings on Zoom. I'm very grateful to everybody who comes on Zoom. I know it's not always everybody's cup of tea, but it is a big help to know that we've got an audience from the membership here. Our next open meeting is on the 22nd of March at Pershore, and the information is on the latest newsletter for you. We've also had our ups and downs as a committee. You know, we've lost a few members this year. We have to remember what our role is as a committee. We're there to help men diagnosed with prostate cancer and to help them and support their families. And I think we do a really good job of that in normal times, but you know, obviously it's more difficult when you couldn't meet up with people. But I think that's what we've got to remember. We lost 3 committee members in the last few months. Martin Harrington stepped down. John Mills stepped down. He used to do all the setting for the newsletter, and I can't thank them both enough. They've done wonderful work for us when they're working. Gordon stepped down, and as you know, he was going to take on the vice chairman role, but I understand that he had to step down, and that's the way things are. But he's a great loss to us. He is a big loss to this group. He's given us a great understanding of how to blend in with NHS people. He can talk to anybody about anything, and he's got such a great breadth of knowledge. He compares with our previous chairman, actually Paul Brothwell, who felt very comfortable talking to anybody from anywhere. And he was always there to help support members of the group and committee members in every possible way with kindness and integrity. Peter Corbish, he still stays on our committee from the South Worcestershire branch, and he's taken us forward as with the mantle of editor of the Supporter. And I'm not supposed to take that. Oh yes, it's Supporter, I can say. It's newsletter, I can't say. I've just had to change it because we had a little note through from Peter saying that actually, if you're producing a magazine, if you're producing something, it's not a newsletter. If it's all shiny or things like that, it's actually a magazine. So I've got to get that correct. Peter's taken it on. You can all say what you feel about the newsletters later on when you talk to Peter, because Peter will be talking shortly. But I think he's taken it right on to another level. It's absolutely amazing. The interviews he's been doing have been absolutely wonderful. I've learned so much about some of our members. He's interviewed people who've been speakers for us. He just takes so much time with them to do it all properly. He meets up with them and talks to them face to face. It's really excellent work. Paul continues as our treasurer. It is a complex job and he deals with it very well, but I know there's been a few problems with some of the issues, but he gets some help from Val. I don't know how he'd do it all without Val. He couldn't possibly, but she does an awful lot in the background to help him. He also does all the team lead. He's the team leader at Leakgate. They grow food, which they sell on open days at Leakgate. And if you've never been to one of those open days and you hear about it, go up, and it's fabulous to go up there and see the work that they've done and what they've achieved. It's been wonderful. And any money they make out of the sale of the food goes to the group. They've also built a barbecue section. I think you actually built the barbecue, didn't you, Paul?
Yeah, I built it
Yeah, I thought you had.
with,
yes,
with Martin Harrington's
with
help.
Martin's help, yeah.
If it falls down, it's Martin's fault because he
Yeah.
mixed the cement.
Of course, it's a lovely area. If you've not been to Leakgate, go up and just have a look at it. It's so wonderful to see. It's now there's lots of tables and things, picnic tables. You can sit down and we can have barbecues up there and social gatherings in the future. Hopefully, I can't see any reason why not. Now, we used to call this the men's shed, and now it's not. Now it's the men's and ladies shed. So any ladies who want to join can do so as well. So contact Paul or Martin about that. Derek Scully is in control of our database. That's where we keep all your information. It's a very valuable piece of work. It's how we have our links in with our members, how we get newsletters out to you. All the information is, kept on the database by Derek, and he also organises a support contacts role within the group. I have to say, we do need some more support contacts. If anybody wants to volunteer, speak to myself or Derek about it. We'll be happy to talk you through it and explain what it's all about. It's not a lot of time involved, twice a year probably, and that's all it takes, but it's a big help to us as a support group. We did a support contacts meeting last, I'm not sure what month it was it October time? That's a very busy time, I know, but at the Ombersley Golf Club, and they're very good, they let us have a room, so we will be arranging another meeting sometime in the spring. Richard Langley, working with our website designer Daniel Cook, have now got a new website up and running with some help and advice from Gordon and Peter Cumber-Corbishley. I hope you've all had a chance to look at this. We are working on the basis that we can attract people to look at our site, and then hopefully more men will sign up to join our group as a result of what they see. Actually, one did this week. Richard also runs Zoom meetings for us, and he's also our PR man and designs wonderful, wonderful adverts. You've probably seen them in the shuttle if you're local. They are really astoundingly good, and they really do attract attention. David Underhill is still working hard with Tackle. This is the organisation formed many years ago to help prostate cancer support groups. David will forward to us any communications from them are relevant to us on the committee, and any invitations to attend meetings with them. At present, they are going through a difficult time, and we hope that they can sort these problems out and continue with wonderful work they do throughout the country. But it is quite a difficult situation there. We'll have to wait and see. Dick Herbert, you all know. Dick is was the local flying doctor, GP, and an anaesthetist at the hospital. He's helped us with medical advice at meetings, and some of you, I'm sure, attended the talk at Leakgate meeting when he demonstrated CPR and using a defibrillator. Hopefully we'll never have to use any of this knowledge, but it's good to be told how to do these things, and it's good to know where the equipment is. If we're at Leapgate, hopefully they'll be supplying some of this equipment. I put forward to be discussed at this AGM that Dick would be a very good vice chairman, and he's agreed he would take that role on, but obviously when we get to the voting, you'll have to make a decision to vote in. Somebody will put him forward and see if you all support him, second it and support it. Our newest member on the committee is Peter Spencer, and I've just mentioned Peter's quite poorly. He came along, where am I? I've not, oh, I've got it, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading on my screen at the side. Some of you may have met him at the town hall because he and Derek Scully volunteered as stewards and helped with greeting everyone. Peter's working life was spent in project engineering and sales within the oil and gas refining and nuclear industries around the world. So he's been very widely travelled throughout the world and worked abroad many times. When he retired, he then became a tour guide at Morgan Motor Company in Malvern. So I think there was some question of him trying to organise a trip up there sometime. If anybody would like the idea of a Morgan visit, I would certainly love to go there. So I think that would be very interesting. I'll ask Peter when he's better. We have two very important lady members on the committee as well. Nikki Langford, who helps with our advice on the website and works to help with raising funds for the group, works very closely with Paul with the tractor run, and she helped out a lot this year in the bitter cold as usual. And the other lady is Val Markler, whose name keeps coming up because she's always helping out, and she works often in the background on a mountain of clerical work for our organisation. We're also well supported by our new Minutes Secretary, Mark Hall, who helps us with, in my case, reminders of what I should be doing and to complete promised work, and also assists the supporter delivery by printing all the labels required 4 times a year. So welcome to Mark. He's been a wonderful addition to our service. There are lots of work going on in the background when we need support from others. We must thank Val again, Margaret Shakespeare, Hilary Brothwell, and all the other ladies who step in to help with the catering and raffle at the town hall. In South Worcestershire, Steve Branschett, John Barrett, Sarah Lewis, Assist Gordon and Peter at the meetings. Thank you to everyone who helps us at any time. We are always very, very grateful. And that's my talk finished. Thank you. I can't eat. Thank you.
More.
More. Right, okay, Treasurer's report.
Right. Good evening, folks. Income and expenditure account for year ending 31st of December 2021. I'll deal with expenditure first. Admin and print, we paid out 4,759. Newsletters and flyers 2,656. Quarterly meetings 199. Normally that would be a lot higher than that, but obviously we've not been able to have our meetings in Kidderminster and Perthshire. Bereavement flowers 290. These are flowers that Mary sends to the wives of gentlemen that have left or have died. Insurance 680. Website 1440. A lot of that was to do with the rehash of the new website. South Worcester Group 339. The Men's Shed 231. Leapgate, it was 1563. The £1,500 was associated with the barbecue that we actually built on the recreational area at Leapgate. That facility will be used by Leapgate and ourselves for social functions, hopefully sometime this year. Our minute secretary, that was 540, and Di Fox 1290. A total of 14,589. expenditure for 2021. If you then look at income for 2021, membership fees were 3,080. Overall donations were 9,080. I've got a complete breakdown of the donations on the back of the hard copy if anyone wants a copy of it. Raffles were £140. Deposit interest, and this is on £10,000. We made £4. They're paying out currently 0.01%. I think when I spoke to the committee early this year, I think we ought to be looking at what we do with that £10,000 because it's got to be safe wherever it goes. But with inflation running at, we're likely to be running at 5% next year, we're actually, our capitals are being eroded. Newsletters and adverts, and these are the adverts we put in the magazine. We picked up £80. Donations of memories, £650. A total income of 13,074. Now, if you take the 13,074 as an income from the expenditure of 14,590, we have a decrease in our resources of 1,515. And this is the first time we've had a decrease since I took over the job as treasurer some 10 years, 11 years ago. It's not a major issue. It's just the way it's worked out. Had we have not received from the Rainbow Trust a £4,000 and from the estate of PM Ball £2,500, we could have been something in the region of £8,000 adrift on our accounts. But like everything else, I just don't know where the money's going to come from. But we do get these windfalls that come in, and we do manage to recover. I won't run through the balance sheet. It's too complex to try and put that over to you. Well, I can say the current assets in Lloyds Bank at the moment, we have 24,441, cash in hand £11, and our charity account we have 10,700, which gives us a total of £35,162. An independent examiner's report to members of the Prostate Cancer Support Group, Kidderminster and Worcestershire, registered charity 11007018. And this is, I certify that the above income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st of December 2021 and the balance sheet as at that date have been prepared in accordance with the books of accounts and the information provided. That's been signed off myself and Warren Hall. Warren Hall is an ex-financial director of Tarmac. He's a very thorough, and he gives me headaches, but he does go through our accounts like a fine tooth comb. As I say, if anyone wants a hard copy, then I can send it on to you if you want further details. What I would say that with the 35,000 we currently have in the bank, that doesn't actually pick up the 2,000 that we raised at the tractor run. So effectively, we've probably got something in the region of £37,000. I'm expecting at least another 3,000 from membership fees, which come in this month. So we're probably up around £40,000. I don't foresee any problems at all in 2022 for the group financially. Any questions?
Okay then. South Worcestershire. Gordon, you're muted.
Okay, got it. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
I've put together a very short half-sided foolscap paper, which I've sent on to the minutes secretary and to Richard, and they can be put on the web if so required. Little to report, of course, really, some of which in the last year has been mentioned anyway by Mary. Just like the main group in the north, the main charity, we were unable to hold 2 of our public meetings, but we did hold the one at Pershore. Had about a couple of dozen people when we had, as I think Mary alluded to, a combination of ukulele group, Di Fox, who did a sit down exercise session, and also Peter Tomlinson. Now, I'm not sure whether the videoing which Daniel did for us, and I would like to thank him publicly for such a good job that he did that night. It would be great to get such videos onto the website if it's possible, and perhaps it would lead to 1 or 2 more people looking at the sort of days, evenings that we have, and persuade 1 or 2 people that we're quite friendly and we don't bite. So it's perhaps worth doing that sort of thing if we can. What we have done in the south, despite the difficulties and the lockdown, in between times when we were allowed, through mainly Peter Corbish's energy, identifying places that we might have coffee and cake chat sessions. We had actually a couple over at Malvern at a really super venue called The Cube, if any of you know Malvern, but it's a lovely community venue, and they really do look after us rather well, and the cake is quite scrumptious. Anyway, we had probably 15, 18 first time, something like that, similar the second time. And in addition to those 2 meetings, we had one at the Angel at Pershore. Sorry, that was a Freudian slip. I nearly said the Angel at Hetton, which is a Michelin-starred restaurant in Yorkshire, which I do recommend. Anyway, the Angel at Pershore is a lovely venue, and we again had about 15 or so along. And the most important thing to make mention of is that blokes who come along to these things do really seem to enjoy themselves. At the moment, clearly with very little social connections and meetings, I think it's really good to have these opportunities for people to share their fears, their concerns, and their hopes for the future. And so despite the difficulties, Peter and I are quite determined we'll still continue to organise such things, obviously subject to whatever government rules are pertaining at the time. So at the moment, we're endeavouring to find a suitable location at Worcester, because we both think it's really rather a pity that despite the fact we're in Worcestershire, we've never actually had a members meeting in Worcester itself in the city. So we do hope that before too long, we shall be able to organise such a session, essentially for early April, Peter, isn't it? So that's what we're hoping to do. So that's retrospective and looking forward to next year when we have our first meeting in March with Simon Adams, the Chief Exec of Healthwatch, coming to talk, as well as some other diddly bits and pieces. I think other than that, I should shut up really. The usual, I'd like to say how much we value the support of the main committee and Mary in particular, of course. We've tried to support Mary and you with 1 or 2 ideas and bits and pieces. And at this very moment, I'm waiting for a revision of the little A5 posters to be sent to me. We've already had agreement from the hospital staff, from Kerry Holden and Ronnie as well, to get these laminated posters into the hospitals across the county, and hopefully for future use into GP surgeries when they allow such things to be done. Because it does seem to us, to bang the old drum again, that the most important thing we've really got to try and do is attract new members and get out there and persuade anybody who's trying to deal with the diagnosis that they may just have had, that there will be other people out there individuals and groups and peer groups like our own who they can actually talk to. So we want to get the message out there, and that's what we shall continue to try and do. Anyway, I'll shut up. Thank you very much, and thank you to all those on the committee for your help and support and understanding in the last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. Actually, we'll have to jump. I haven't got it on here, but can we jump to Derek next, please? Derek Scully. Can you hear me, Derek?
You're muted.
Derek, can you hear me?
Derek, you need to unmute. Okay.
I'm okay. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
can you hear? Okay, Derek, it's your turn now. Sorry about this, Mark. I didn't put it on the.
Okay. You'll
We'll add it in.
okay. You'll probably remember that we were awarded a Queen's Award for voluntary services, which was mainly due to the hard work of our late chairman Paul Brodwell and Mary. And another reason for this was because of our buddy and support contact system. So we'd like to say a big thank you to all of the good work you've done in the past, and especially throughout the pandemic, and hope you'll continue supporting your groups. Last year, we had 30 support contacts, and we are now down to 24. And we currently have 407 members and 37 members without a support contact. So you can see we do need additional people to put their names forward. Training is provided for the role, which is not an onerous one, but very rewarding. It only requires contacting members twice a year to see how they are coping. And you also have the guidelines and buddies letter to help you along with that. And you can signpost people in the right direction. Hopefully we'll be holding a meeting in March for all the current support contacts, and the link to the meeting will be posted in Supporters magazine and on the website. And I will also send out an email with the date and venue shortly. So if there are any volunteers, then you can find my details in the Supporters magazine or on the website, or join the meeting in March. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. That's great. So yes, please, if anybody's interested, let us know, or just turn up at the meeting. That would be very useful. Thank you. Right, okay. Membership Secretary and Supporters Contact Coordinator Report. That's the same thing, isn't it? Oh, sorry, that was you. I'm sorry, it's because I haven't got Derek there. Okay, so that was correct. The shed report then, Paul.
Okay. As most of you will be aware, the shed is the social arm of our support group based at Leapgate Farm off Wilden Lane, Starbuck-on-Severn. The original concept of the shed is designed to create an environment where men that have recently received a diagnosis and those that are living with prostate cancer, where they could meet socially. This year has been another difficult year with various COVID viruses, which have prevented us from organising events that we had got planned. However, our outdoor activities at the farm have gone from strength to strength. We've now completed a move to a much bigger area where we've installed a polytunnel and greenhouse. We've had bumper crops of new potatoes and main crop. We've had tomatoes, beans and numerous other vegetables. We've also organised open days for the members of the group who wish to purchase vegetables from the farm at greatly reduced prices. Also, with the help of Martin Harrington, I've completed the building of a large outdoor covered barbecue. This is not only used by, or will be used by ourselves, but also Leapgate. So what I'm hoping to do, if we get some reasonable weather next year, is organise an outdoor event. The shed, as it's now known, it's not the men's shed, as Mary mentioned earlier. It's now welcoming partners and members who wish to take advantage of the facilities that Leapgate offer. And we really hope to encourage more members to join us. What we are planning to do, as opposed to just growing the veggies, is to, if we've got any green-fingered ladies out there, the gentlemen who'd like to look at bedding plants and whatever, we're going to look at try and get a few plug plants off the ground in the polytunnel. So if you want to join us, come along. It'll cost you nothing. The other thing with the shed or leak gate costs us nothing as a group. The reason we actually got involved in the project of building a barbecue is really as some form of payback to them for their generosity. It doesn't mean it'll happen every year, but I do believe from time to time we ought to show our appreciation of what they offer us. So, you know, please come along. We could do with some more guys on the allotment. It's not difficult. If we've got enough guys, we can split it up so you don't have to be there that often. We had a watering regime up there where you just pop it once a week just to keep an eye on the produce. The rest of it is left to nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, we are on to the basic stuff now, the election of our committee again. As I say, we've lost 3, so we are looking for committee members. If anybody wants to join us, just give me a call about it and we'll have a chat if anybody's willing to join us. In the meantime, everybody's agreed to stand that have been with us now. So starting off with Paul Markle as our treasurer. Would somebody like to propose? Thank you. Seconder? Okay, and is everybody in agreement then? Yes, we're all in agreement. Okay. Richard Langley? Anybody want to propose Richard?
I propose Richard.
Okay. Seconder? I don't know if Mark can get all these, he's seeing all these hands going up. I can only see the ones I've got in front of me. And everybody agrees, Richard. Thank you. Let me go through my list. I'm going to forget everybody otherwise. Peter Corbishley, he's a trustee as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And everybody's agreed with that. And David Andrew.
Yeah. I'd second David.
Okay, thank you. Everybody's agreed with that then. Derek Scully.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much and agreed by everybody. And then we've got Peter Spencer. I don't know, I've put Eddie Rudge as well. I've forgotten Eddie Rudge. Eddie Rudge is staying on as well. Co-opted, and the 2 ladies, Nikki and Val. Is everybody happy for them to remain in their roles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. That's fine then. Have I missed anybody out? Just
The vice chair.
Huh?
The vice chairman.
Oh yes, I missed that out, haven't I? I've sent a note out to all the committee before the meeting that I talked to Dick Herbert. You all know Dick very well.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a local character in the Wyre Forest area, and I would like somebody to propose him. And
I propose Dick.
Can I
Thank you.
just say something? I've agreed to deputise for Mary if she's not there. I have no ambitions to become chairman. I'm nearly 83, so that's far beyond my mental capacity now. So if you agree that for me just to deputise for Mary, if for some reason she is unable to attend a meeting.
Yeah.
yeah, everybody happy
Well, I
with that?
propose Dick on that basis.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've missed anybody else then now, have I? Oh, somebody's missed me.
I'll propose Mary.
I propose Mary as chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Dick.
Did we get a second for Dick?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll carry on as chair. Well, I was going to say chair lady, as chairperson. Any other business? Unmute everybody, please, Daniel, if you could. Everybody can talk then. Can you do it? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to thank Mary for all our hard work
Yeah.
in the last 2 years. She's been with us right from the start, and you know, she's got Mike, who's not always terribly well, but she plods on with great enthusiasm and energy. And thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other business from anybody? Anybody want to talk about anything that we do?
Yeah,
Any
Mary,
ideas?
can I raise one issue. We have an honorary member, Alan Jones Bratt, who's raised quite a bit of money with golfing events and whatever. It's his 80th birthday this year, and he's been looking for something to do. He's a very active guy to actually for his 80th. He's got an event called an 80 by 80. What he's planning to do is 80 rounds of golf. This all takes place sometime in August. I have spoken to Peter Corbishley with a view to hopefully advertising this event, because we are looking for sponsorship. He's planning to split the amount of money that he raised between, I think it's Alzheimer's, all these issues, and prostate cancer have affected his siblings within the family. And he felt this is his last final fling would be this 80 by 80. He's doing an 80-mile walk. It'll be over 4 days, 20 miles at a time. But hopefully we will generate quite a bit of money. And if we can help in raising funds for this well worth exercise, then I'd appreciate that. But as I say, Peter will be putting out an advert. I think it was July, Peter, June?
June. It'll be the June one. Yeah, that would be good. Yes, we'll support that, definitely. I can't see any problems with that. Sounds very good.
Should be getting at least 25% of the proceeds, which could be quite a bit of money, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. We've also got a golf day promised by Clibbury on the 1st of July. If anybody wants to put a local team in, and they'll be playing to help raise money for several charities, but they always give us a good sum as well. So support Clibbury. They're very supportive of us. So has anybody got any comments to make about the website? Have you enjoyed the new website?
That's very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah,
good. Okay.
Many thanks.
Thank you,
to
Daniel.
Many thanks to Daniel and Richard for all the time they've spent
Absolutely.
in putting it into the shape it is. That's very good. Thank you. Can I
Yeah.
take the opportunity when talking about money to also do some thanks, really? Obviously, with Nikki present anyway, I thought it was absolutely terrific that Kidderminster and Worcestershire decided to support with funds for the Sabre equipment, which, as you know, has been purchased. And because, in particular, some of you will have noticed a very quiet person concealing himself in the bottom, my right-hand corner, Michael Amis. Michael very, very kindly and generously suggested that we might get some funds towards that Sabre investment from the Friends of Pershore Hospital. And they also made a major contribution to Sabre. I was hoping to prove how useful it would be by being the first patient to use the darned equipment, but unfortunately they wouldn't use it on me. But anyway, I'm delighted to know that it's actually going to be available soon. And we thank all of the donors for, the efforts in getting that. So again, Nikki, thanks for all that you do to support us as well. It's much appreciated.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Nikki. Very good. Yeah, I think we've done well with that. That's been really tremendous. Thank you. So I think we feel.
Did Michael wanted to make a comment?
Yeah,
Okay, Michael.
thank you. Thank you, Richard, Gordon, for that. The Friends of Pershore Hospital was formed when the hospital was virtually the only resource for people other than GPs in the area. And it was, of course, was taken over by the NHS in 1947. So our role is much wider now, and our constitution, which has actually just been rewritten for the first time since 1896, now gives us the brief to do anything which will contribute to the health of local people. And local people are defined in our context by those who are registered as our 2 GP practices, which includes most of the hinterland villages, about 20,000 people altogether. So it's perfectly appropriate because many of our people are treated in the local acute hospitals, that we contribute to them as well as to the local Pershore hospital. And I'd also like to mention that we have opened a wellbeing hub in Pershore in the last 6 months, and it's being run by volunteers. It's being supported again by the Friends of Pershore Hospital and by Wychavon and by the Pershore Town Council. And it's a walk-in place for people who are isolated or concerned or worried about anything at all. It's kind of a health citizen advice bureau. It's relocated right next to number 8, is right in High Street. And the volunteers are very welcoming. And I'd like to encourage Peter particularly to make contact in there so that if anybody comes into that hub who has the prostate problems that we're focused on, that a connection can be made so that they can get the help they need. The people in the hub don't provide the help themselves, but they link to something like 200 social and health organizations in the area that are available to people, and many people don't know about them. They're often told to go and look on the website. And as we know, there are lots of people who can't do that and don't do it. So it's a face-to-face place. We're hoping it will go on growing and expanding, but we should be linked to it as a resource. Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Thank you. Wonderful.
Hi, Mary. Can I just say a little bit?
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Right. Just to go back to Michael's point, we're in close contact with the hub. It's just a few days ago I dropped off some of the supporter magazines there, and 2 or 3 of my friends are now volunteers, and we did feature them in the September magazine. So we hope, and I think they hope also, that this will be a not just a one-off, but it's going to be like an example for maybe other towns in Worcestershire to follow, and that it'll be spread out, to other places, particularly I think Evesham and Droitwich, part of the Wychavon District Council. So yeah, we're watching it very carefully, and thanks ever so much for all the help that's being given by people like yourself, Michael, in helping establish that. One final thing, not claiming all that everything is happening in Pershore, but it is worth reminding people and Paul as well that we've got this £12,000 that is slightly tied up, if you like, with the Pershore mayor, a little trust that is being got together, taking a little bit of time to do this, but it means that certainly in the south of the county, we can call on these funds to be able to help with events in the future. So adding to Paul's numbers of about going up to about 40,000 in January, February, then there's that extra 12,000. So, saying, just going along with what Paul was saying, I think we're in a very healthy situation. Thank you.
Yes. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Has anybody else got anything to add now? I just thank everybody for all the work they've done. It's you know, it's hard work sometimes. There's always jobs to be done and things to be sorted, and we've always got to think ahead and try and raise money and try and support people properly. But I think we do a pretty good job, really, and I'm quite proud of what we've achieved over the years. So I think we just go forward and carry on. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you, Daniel, for your work.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks
Okay.
very much, Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you in
Well
open
done.
meetings hopefully soon. In March and April, we've got open meetings, so we'll be back to normal, we hope. I can't see any reason why not.
Hmm.
There you go.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Thanks very much to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.